guys, welcome. This is G Maniac with
Abimaniac.
to discuss and analyze the NXT's latest outing that was Takeover Respect. And we are here to discuss the match between Sasha Banks and Bayley. The first ever 30 minutes Iron Woman match between these two divas. I think it really lived to the hype.
Yes, definitely it lived to the hype as per me. And I would say that we should not compare this match and the last match which they had in Brooklyn. That
Mhm.
we should come to a consensus that it was equal and they were both equally brilliant.
But I think this match really shook them up, and this match really demanded. This was, I think, the one of the most physical matches I've ever seen in WWE history in the past few years. You know,
In terms of women
in
wrestling.
terms of women wrestling, of course. I mean, after watching a couple of weeks of Raw, now I was able to see a great match between these two women fighting it out. So I was on my toes, and it was a brilliant match. Let me tell you, Sasha playing her part as a heel really well, and Bayley. What about Bayley?
Bailey, yes, she was the classic baby face that was pandering to the audience, and she did her part quite brilliantly, and she got the win at the end.
At the end. But I think the first 10 minutes really belonged to Sasha. She, I think, really was, over the crowd. The crowd in, and yes, how can you forget? Even before the match started, the crowd was chanting for these women wrestlers. I mean, they have a chance of this is wrestling.
Women's wrestling, this is awesome.
Yes, I mean, you know that this match is going to be over the top when you know the fans are chanting even before the match has started, even before the bell rang. So I think that was something to look out for. And plus, I think one of my favorite moments in this match was when the number one fan of Bailey, Izzy, right? The Izzy moment. Tell them
Yes.
about it. Come on.
Yes. Izzy, who was sitting in her usual spot ringside, Banks talked trash to the little girl's face, took the bow she was wearing in her hair, put it on, and ran around with it, and then threw it back at her. She was in tears, and that was a classic heel move that we would have only seen in the indies. And I was just thinking about this, that if this thing happens in WWE, and how will it be received. And I got that face to face
And
one time.
that was an awesome moment. That was one of the best moments of the match. I think it really upgraded the emotions of the match.
The emotion concept of the match, yes,
Mhm,
definitely.
and talking about the emotions, I really felt emotional when Sasha fall on her shoulder and her neck in the first 5 minutes of the match when Bailey, just gave her a slam. And I thought Sasha was really injured at that moment. She was in pain. She was actually in pain. You could see her. And I think that was one of the moments where you think that these women can give everything for a match. They can be physical, they can be brutal, and the moment in between the match, just halfway past the match, when Banks just threw Bailey to the time clock that they had, on the aisle, and that was a really physical moment. Yeah,
Indeed,
yeah,
indeed.
that
And
is.
then Banks got the second victory that she had because of the that was the count out.
Why the count out?
And the first victory was when she uh, a classic heel victory that she blocked the referee and then poked into the eyes of Bailey, just like Kevin Owens is doing for the past 2 weeks. And
Oh yes, yes.
she got the first, she drew first blood.
I mean, how many heels we have seen in WWE right now, which do stuff what Sasha was doing. I mean, we have Kevin Owens, I know, but leaving him, they are very rare heels who have that much of audacity to do stuff like that. What Sasha did tonight, the number one fan gimmick, and that thing, and after that, this thing. I think she was. I think she has proved herself as a heel.
She is indeed, and she has proven to be one of the strongest heels uh, in WWE right now, and with her antics that making Izzy cry and all the mannerisms in the match, yes,
Mhm.
she has proved to be the one of the strongest heels in the company right now.
Actually, I was a little disappointed. In the end of the match, the result. I don't know why, being a Banks fan, I was a little disappointed to see Banks lose. I thought it was going to be a draw. The last 5 minutes, I think 5 to 8 minutes of the match, the last 5 to 8 minutes really belonged to Bayley. When when there were the steel steps kept outside the ring, she was on fire.
Hmm. Then that Bailey got physical, and that brought out another side of Bailey, that
Exactly.
she was mean and she wanted to win, and that was yes, quite unique, and it was quite effective.
Also,
And
the injured hand of Banks that Bailey continuously targeted.
hmm,
She continuously targeted the hand and the shoulder, so that really played the part well. Hmm?
that also adds, this only adds to the emotions and to the match itself, that the matches are great if they are
If they
there
have
is
the
great
if they have
in
emotion.
ring stuff, but also the emotions and
Mhm.
the story which we got to know in WWE 24 NXT Brooklyn, and that from the childhood they wanted to become wrestlers and women wrestlers in the WWE, not to fight like divas, and they proved and they made history.
We always had an argument that WWE had great women wrestlers like Trish, Lita, and they were better than these NXT women. But I think I have to change my opinion over here, stating the fact that seeing this 30 minutes match, when this match was actually kept, I thought how they are going to continue for these 30 minutes, because we have never seen a diva in action for I think more than 10, 15, maximum 20 minutes. And for a
Yes.
30-minute match for two divas to continue, I thought it could go boring, it could go tedious at times, but there was not even a second when I moved my eye out of the screen. Each and every time I was focused. So I think they really lived up to the hype. I think they really, they really gave us what the match was all about, right?
Yes,
And yeah,
and full props to their trainer Sarah Del
yeah.
Rey, and she's the unsung hero of this NXT Women's division. That she has really upped the wrestling part in the division, and now we are able to see more of wrestling women, not wrestling divas, that having cat fights and pulling each other hairs
And
and
bikini matches. Although I
no.
used to love bikini matches, but yeah, that's another part of the story. So yeah, and now coming back to business, the last 5 minutes of the match we were talking about, and Bailey delivering a Bailey to Bailey outside the ring. I think that actually injured Banks. That
Yes, that also incited a holy shit
Holy
chant.
shit chant from the crowd. Yes.
Yes, that was a physical part, and that not many people expected that spot, that they could go on more physical and add more physicality to that match, and really it was just amazing
And
to see that.
the last couple of minutes, I think Banks. I thought Banks was really going to win this one, because she was like, the Banks line was locked,
Hmm.
and Bailey couldn't get herself out. I mean, she was trying. She got to the ropes, but then Sasha again reversed it. She got the Banks statements locked again, and then there was a reversal, reverse after reversal, reverse after reversals, but the lock was there. So I really thought that this could end in Banks, getting back the title.
Hmm.
But being a Sasha's fan, I thought that this would end in Sasha winning. Although I knew that Bailey has to win. I always said that So I think the end was quite, quite obvious that Bayley will be winning the match, and she won. She won by getting the lock on Sasha's hand. I think she
Yes.
really was
Hyper extended the hand, and
exactly
at the end she was just
like
kicking on the
kicking the
hand.
hand. I was
Yes,
like
that
terrified.
was.
I mean, this was like another Bayley I'm seeing right now. I mean, she just became a monster. She was like beating Sasha like anything.
The hugging monster.
The hugging monster, exactly. And
That was just the contrast to what we saw in Brooklyn when
Mhm.
Banks was kicking on the
Kicking.
hand
so
when she had the
so I
Banks
think
statement.
Bang got a piece of her own cake, right? She just got that, and the end was quite emotional with Triple H and the whole NXT, wrestlers coming out to congratulate these two women with bouquets, and
They were appreciating, clapping, and applauding that they made history. And
and Banks really falling into tears. She really was on her knees, so which brought tears to my eyes. I don't know about yours.
yes,
It did.
mine too.
It did. You're the
Yes.
man. You're the man, bro.
Triple H took his bouquet into the ring and handed it to an equally emotional Bayley. He raised her hand in the air as the program went off the air. The entire thing, from the build up,
To the match
Yes.
and the storyline, everything, to Izzy getting emotional and crying, Banks playing her part. I think it was just fantastic. It was just living up to the hype.
and that was proof that NXT simply knows how to present quality wrestling.
Rather than Raw.
Yes, Raw is pathetic.
Raw is pathetic. It's pathetic. And if you really want to know how pathetic Raw is, you can watch our Raw reviews every week.
And next week it's in Chicago, so we expect that the crowd would give
Rip
them
their ass off and
Yes.
really show them what to do and what not to do. But I think the NXT team really know what to put up on a show, and you know how to garner the audience.
yes, how
You know?
to develop talent and
Hmm.
simply to put out a great show in the end. And next would be in December, NXT London, and
NXT London.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. And lastly, we would like to say that there are times that when fans forget why they even watch wrestling, then these two ladies remind you that why we should.
Yes, they really show us what a professional wrestling match is. So that's a wrap. Thank you so much for hearing, guys. This was G Maniac with
Abby Maniac and
on your favorite channel, Like a Boss.